Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Thaler with National Decency Coalition. Our organization supports legislation at the state and federal level for protecting children from hardcore pornography online. And the most common questions we get are about constitutionality. So I'm going to answer some of those questions for you here today. People will say porn is free speech. And we'll talk about this, but the first thing is legally, there is no term for porn. You can't ban porn, but there is a legal term, obscenity. And this has a long history in United States law. And so if someone asks you, is an obscenity free speech? The answer is no. In every court case you will see, every Supreme Court review of this question, obscene speech does not enjoy any protection. It is fully outside of the law. And you say, well, then why isn't it already illegal? Surely there'd be a law in the books if obscenity was illegal. And there are. One law sends you to jail for 10 years if you send obscene material to a minor. And then you say, okay, well, then why is no one going to jail? Good question. They used to. The FBI used to enforce obscenity laws that are already on the books. They've been on the books for 150 years, ever since we wrote our own laws instead of relying on English common law. Specifically, there was a task force set up in 2005 under the Bush administration, and then it was dissolved in the Obama years. And there is still a child exploitation and obscenity enforcement task force in the FBI, but they generally go after child pornography because there's only so much manpower to devote, and pornography is very widespread on the internet. And then people will say, well, could you even prevent, like on a widespread level, is there even technology to prevent children from accessing porn online? Yes, these are taken from the countries that do require pornography age verification to prevent material harmful to minors, like Germany and France, the United Kingdom. And we also use these in the United States in order to protect children from nicotine sales online, alcohol sales online. There's some others. Oh, OnlyFans, for example, like if they require you to age verify before you post, then you have to go through a service called Yoti. And then you say, why don't porn companies use it already? If it exists and pornography is illegal, obscenity. And Pornhub does actually, they have age verification, but they have age verification for people who upload videos. So what happened was there were laws on the books against child pornography, and someone brought a case against them claiming that they had been knowingly hosting child pornography and distributing it. And so they implemented this age verification on new users who were uploading videos back in 2021, I believe. I'm sure it says right there. And so they're capable of doing it, but it requires a law to be on the books, and it requires enforcement. There needs to be some threat of force from the federal government in order for them to comply. At the state level, we actually already have seen this. In Louisiana, there was an age verification service, which was created by Calvin Faber, who is the CEO of LA Wallet. And this is very simple. You simply click check my age. And if you want to see this process in detail, there is a video from Calvin demonstrating he has two methods of age verification that they offer. So this is available. It has been implemented by Pornhub. Pornhub themselves say they don't collect any data during the process. And that should make you question when they say it's about privacy and uploading a photo of your ID. It is not. I encourage you to watch that presentation as well. So there's all these states that are implementing these laws, and obscenity is already illegal. But how do they craft these laws to be constitutional? The first is a compelling government interest. The interest of the government must be reasonable, or it must be compelling, basically. Protecting children from obscenity and material harmful to them is a compelling government interest. You will not find a Supreme Court case in which it is not. The question is how to prevent minors from receiving harmful material without restricting that material for adults, if it is legal for adults but illegal for children. And that means the law is narrowly tailored to serve the interest of protecting children, but allowing obscene speech, or not obscene speech, but speech that is indecent and protected for adults. It can't be overbroad, which is what I was just saying. It can't be impossible to meet. If I say that a company can only use one age verification service and they have to use that one, otherwise, like they're going to go to jail for 100 years, can't do it. That's why you would allow for multiple age verification methods. And also, we need to define the terms clearly. We need to define obscenity, which there is a federal and local state definitions for that. And that's included in the Screen Act. And then people say, well, what about in 1996, the Communications Decency Act, and in 1998, yada, yada. What about these old Supreme Court cases with internet law? And it's a good question, because if you search on the internet, it'll say like that there were some restrictions on pornography and then they were struck down for violating the First Amendment. That makes people think, oh, porn, First Amendment, okay. In 1996, it made it a crime to knowingly distribute obscene and indecent communication to minors, making it available to minors online. I encourage you to read this quote here. At the time, there was no age verification technology. So websites couldn't comply. They couldn't distribute material and have access for adults, but not access for children. And so at the time, the court said there's no technology, and therefore it is overbroad. And interestingly, Justice O'Connor, she said that maybe in the future, one day there will be an adult-only zone that could be created, and then the law would be constitutional. 1998, very similar. They corrected some of the language. They wanted to use credit cards for age verification and mortgage records, things like this. But there still wasn't age verification that was reliable and not an undue burden. It was too costly to check every single person's credit card in 1998. And the court also said that the parental filters, which were just coming out, were capable of protecting more material than a credit card verification. And so they said that that would be less restrictive than a ban on the knowing distribution of obscene material to minors. But it has been 25, 26 years since parental filters. The compelling government interest is protect children from obscenity. And if it's the least restrictive means, then it would achieve that interest in the 26 years since that decision. But today, the average age of exposure for pornography is around 12 years old. And a majority of children view it unintentionally. Parents who are supposed to implement these filters, apparently, a majority of them don't know their children are viewing pornography. And only 39% of parents use any kind of filter. That means 61% of parents, or 61% of households, do not have any protection at all on any device. And the most important thing here is, even if one parent, even if I as a parent, I protect my child's mobile phone, I protect their laptop, I route everything through a DNS server and just delete everything, and I'm constantly watching them. As soon as they go to school and they get on a bus with other boys or other kids throughout the school year, when they're like, 13, 14 years old, someone shows them the material that is harmful to them, that is illegal, because that other child's parents didn't know or didn't care. So now this federal bill, this proposed Screen Act, it allows for adults to access speech that is legal to them while minors are prevented access. Therefore, it achieves the compelling government interest and is narrowly tailored. It only requires businesses that are distributing or hosting material harmful to minors for profit for age verifying. They are the only ones that are required to age verify. If Facebook or Instagram, which is not distributing such material, is not attempting to profit from hosting obscenity, they are not subject to requirements. And they can achieve, as long as they're verifying that a user is more likely than not a minor, that is the threshold they would need to meet, and they can use any method of age verification to do that, of which there are many, which I didn't include in this presentation. But if you'd like to check out decencyusa.org, our website, we have a list of all the different services, and there's some links as well to the many methods that are available. Some other questions which didn't require a full slide. People will say, well, kids will just use a VPN. The Screen Act requires, that all IP addresses, all traffic is subject to age verification unless the platform can determine that the user is outside of the United States. So if the platform has the capability to determine that the user truly is from India or Germany or Italy, then they don't have to verify. But if someone was using a VPN, they would be subject to age verification, even if it was technically routed through Poland or something. And there is a lot of data safeguarding requirements. They can only record or maintain the minimum amount of data needed to demonstrate compliance. And they also may retain it for only so long as is needed. So that is a requirement in there as well. So if they were mishandling data or in any way compromising user privacy, that would also be a punishable offense, or that would create an opportunity for enforcement by the FTC. People say, why the FTC? Well, FTC is already used online to prevent platforms from collecting user data when the user is under 13 years old. And that has been successful. As well, in 2003, they used the FTC in order to prevent spam email messages of pornography. So it's also been used in the realm of obscenity as well. And I don't think people are getting a lot of emails of naked women in videos anymore, unless you're downloading some weird stuff. And then it also regulates internet gambling sites. So this has been used for platforms to protect privacy, to prevent the distribution of pornography, and also to regulate online gambling platforms. I think it's already within the realm of the FTC to subject pornography platforms to these requirements. And that is all I have. I hope you learned something today. And if you want to know anything else, feel free to email us. Again, our website is decencyusa.org. And my name is Eric Fahler. Executive Director of our organization is Ricky Dar, and we will both be available for contact through our website or email. Thank you.